Hey people, Sylvia's here. I'm on Leaf here. We are off to go kill some apes. Also, Yasir is here. We might actually go see. Might go kill Yasir. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Part of me also wants to go try kill Mama Longlegs, but I really don't want to try that until I can use my composite hornbow. So we're gonna hold off on that. That said, I should have a whole bunch of creature products that need selling to Yasir. Yep, there's a whole bunch of creature products. There's a whole bunch of creature products right there. In fact, actually, I'm out of carrying capacity now. Let's, okay. I apparently had a lot more of these than I thought I did. Also, I've got those coconuts to sell. Coconuts. I don't know why I haven't sold them. Interesting prices here. I'm going to go with, we'll see how that actually goes. Alright, so we got that. I wonder if I have anything. Yep, okay. I do have, actually, those are all things I don't want to sell. Yeah, those are all things I don't want to sell. What about this one? Those seem to be, like, random items for the most part. Next depot. I just have, like, a random assortment of things in all of my boxes. What is up with this? Alright. At some point, I'm going to need to send a lot of that stuff off over to Dao Dao. But at this point, it looks like that's all of my stuff. Alright, so we're going to go track down Yasir. Then we're going to go take care of things. Anyone know where Yasir is? Let's see if somebody responds to me. Meanwhile, let's see, what are we going to do here? We're going to go kill apes, that's for sure. Yeah, I guess we're just going to go kill apes. Let's do that. It's a shame that nobody's responding to me. That means I'm going to have to just guess. So I'm thinking I want to start using my enchanted spears now, probably. I'm going to use the royals that I have, but I'm not going to buy new ones. I'm just going to switch over to enchanted at that point. I figure Leaf's finances seem to be a little bit better than Sylvius's were at this point in time. So I think I can most likely afford to use the bow and arrow right off the bat. So that's my plan. Hi. What do you think, Liberty Bay? Liberty Bay. Let's go see if Yasir's in Liberty Bay. Do. So, I don't really have like a specific topic to talk about today, but I do have this. It's kind of some philosophical musings from Sylvius. Oh wow, look at that. I guessed right. Go me. On this note, also, I need to get Dao Dao here, actually, because Dao Dao has a whole bunch of stuff to sell to Yasir also. But hey, that was kind of awesome. Yeah, I got 82k. I mean, that's pretty solid. That dude had a sick mount. That dude had a sick mount. Props to that guy. Alright, well, anyway. So, I was kind of talking to my friend about this topic. It started off as a joke where I'm older than him. So that was all sorts of the wrong button. We were it doesn't really matter what we were discussing. But hi, Port Hope. Yes. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what we were discussing, I guess, and I don't really remember. But the point was we were like discussing it, and we were, I don't want to say like arguing about it, but we were like disagreeing civilly. And as a joke, I was like, you should just listen to me because you have to respect your elders. So we were joking about that, how like technically I'm an elder, and actually this has nothing to do with the topic I wanted to talk about. But in my mind, I still like visualize myself as like younger than I actually am, and it's weird to me that to a like sizable portion of people now, I am technically an elder. It's a weird concept to me. Anyway, So we were talking about that, and I like we were joking about that like phrase, like you should respect your elders and all that stuff. Um, and basically, I was like, yeah, like people say you should respect your elders, but like I don't know. I mean, most of the elders I know are kind of idiots. Like, not to be entirely disrespectful to my elders, but and I was thinking, I was like, it was like a true statement in the past where like legitimately you would respect your elders because the world changed little enough that it freaks me out when a level 232 chases me. Hi, East, yes. Hi, Beneta, yes. Um, and the dude got back to me about where Yasir was a little bit late, but I TY'd him. Yeah, well, anyway, so I was like, I mean, that was probably like a moderately accurate phrase back when like advancements in the world and like society were slow enough that there wasn't huge changes in a single generation, kind of like there are now. Like, keep in mind, all right, me at like 28, I grew up before everybody had a computer or a cell phone. um, like, I was there as the like computers and the internet were just becoming mainstream, which is that's some heavy lag. Which is like weird to say, but I mean it is. Like, my family got a computer, I guess, when I was still in elementary school, and we had like AOL with a dial-up connection and stuff like that. Um, like when I say like we got our AOL from a free disc that we got at like Kmart. I don't know, like a lot of people probably won't know what I was talking about. And like I had my first cell phone when I was in 8th grade. Yeah, when I was in 8th grade. And it wasn't like a smartphone, it didn't have a touch screen. It played a game, but it was like a pixelated, crappy game. It was actually the Snake game. 2 Merylkins is kind of annoying. Especially when I fail to kill one repeatedly. Yeah, like the Snake game, the one where you're like a snake and you have to go eat the dots, and when you eat the dots, your character gets a little bit bigger. That game. That's the game I was playing. I think that was like the only game that was on my phone too. And then my next phone was a like a sideways flip phone with like a full size keyboard. But yeah, I guess my point is I don't know. It's like a weird concept for me. But my point was that like in the past when society like progressed slow enough that you could like reasonably ask your elders and they would actually have like answers. Like you'd be like, "Oh, the like harvest has been really slow this year. Why is that?" And in the absence of things like Wikipedia, where there wasn't a huge source of information all over the world, you'd have to like ask people, and they would know the answers based off of their own experiences and things like that. But like now, I like my elderly family members like give me advice on like job searching, and I'm like, yeah, except the whole like hiring environment that you guys know of does not exist any longer. Like my mom's like, you just got to go into places and like ask if they're hiring, and I'm like, yeah, except every single place that you do that to will say yes, but you have to go online. And then the hiring process is through like some human resources dude, probably in a different state, probably in a different time zone, no less. Let's kill the Chronophila first. I've actually gotten a decent bit away from where I want to be. Somehow. Not sure how I pulled that off. Another Chronophila. Another Chronophila. I want my corn cob. So I mean, like, a lot of things like that have changed. Even like, like for example, my uncle still tries to repair my grandmother's car, and like the mechanisms of cars have changed so much that he's still like capable of fiddling with it and kind of like getting some kind of result, but he's nowhere near like actual repairing of a vehicle. and it usually just causes more problems than less. So yeah, like I guess that was where I was getting at with that specific topic, is that like things have changed a lot, so like that particular phrase isn't useful any longer, for the most part. I mean, like it still has some value, but very little, I would say. But the thing I was saying then is like, who was the one that would have told you that phrase? It would be an elder, right? And I got to thinking that like a lot of those phrases like that, and those like, I'm not even sure what the word is I want to necessarily use to describe them, but those like things like respect your elders, don't lie is another one. Those kind of like fable-ishy like tales that we tell our children to like teach them how to like function as a member of society. Generally, I don't think are wrong or right for the most part, and then are told to you like by people that benefit by you following those. So like respect your elders and like always listen to them was told to you by your elders, the ones that have a like clear and exact like benefit to you doing that. To like propagate a, you should just be blindly obedient to me because I'm older than you. You shouldn't question me. You shouldn't like argue with me. Like if we're ever in a disagreement, like I just automatically win because I'm older than you. The people that like tell you that are the people that benefit from that. Now, like granted, there probably was originally some value in like respecting your elders and whatnot, and I'm not gonna like dispute that. But like, and then this is what we ended up actually talking about, the like, you shouldn't lie kind of concept. Like, okay, what like career choice basically is based off of lying, like politics basically. And you're like teachers in school who would also have probably said like you shouldn't lie to kids all the time. Like all the time. Not like in a malicious kind of way, but like when a kid asks for something and the teacher like just doesn't care enough to really provide an explanation, or like when you're like, why can't I have chocolate, or and things like that. Teachers and like people that are responsible for taking care of children consistently lie while giving reasons, or say like, oh, it's just because, and things like that. I can't think of like a better example off the top of my head, but like, I mean, kids are just like annoying when they ask like stupid questions all the time, and it's a hassle to like actually answer them. So people just lie and give lying answers to them all the time. And it's annoying when like a little kid does something wrong, and then you have to figure out like what happened, and they're lying to you. So like I understand why a teacher would be like lying is bad, but teachers also lie all the time, and like I feel like that whole like you shouldn't lie is just a like, it's easier for like the people in power to control you. And I'm not trying to sound like conspiracy theory or like world order or anything like that, because I'm definitely not, and I definitely don't believe those things. But like, it is a lot easier to govern a group of people when they don't lie. It's even easier to govern a group of people when they're so like, the idea of lying is so ingrained as like a negative into them that they don't consider it, and that they don't think other people are lying to them. Because that way, when you're like, like when the village chief is like, oh man, I don't know if we're going to have enough food for the winter, and then like he just lies to you and is like, don't worry, we'll be fine. You don't want everybody to like panic, or like, when a military general is like, don't worry, like reinforcements will arrive on time or something like that. Because the like your soldiers' morale needs to stay up. You can't just have everybody be like, we're doomed, and then giving up. So he lies to them. But like, just on the topic of like lying, here's my thought process on lying, right? If there's a thing that you want, then that thing has like value, obviously, right? Like, if you want water, then water has value, which in fact is why you buy bottled water, and you have like a water bill that comes in, and for when you get tap water and stuff like that. Like, if you want to play Tibia as a premium character, it has a value, and you pay that value, assuming you agree with the like the pricing of the value. But still, like, anything that a person wants has a like a value in a sense, right? Do you not want to be told the truth most of the time? Like, yeah, I mean, I understand there's like the white lies kind of thing where like you probably don't always want to be told the truth, but like there is plenty of times you want to be told the truth when you like, you know, ask what time it is. You want to be told the truth. But even things like that, like there's a lot of situations, well, I mean, pretty much all situations where you would want a truthful answer when you ask a question. So doesn't that inherently mean like the truth has value, right? Right, of course it does. So then my thought process is like, if the truth has value, you probably shouldn't just be giving it away for free. Is my my horrible outlook on life. But I mean, really, think about it. Like, if I'm willing to pay for the things that I want, and I also want to be told the truth, I would be willing to pay for the truth. Now, I don't mean that in a like literal transaction kind of way, where like I ask a question and somebody's like, "I will only give you a true answer if you pay me $5." But I mean that like in a, and obviously there's ways to receive value other than just like a monetary reward. And like, you know, even for situations where like you have food and there's like a famine and you refuse to give people the food, there's like potential consequences for not accepting like a trade too. So like, you know, lying to people obviously comes with consequences, but I don't know. Like, it just seems silly to me that I would just give away things that are clearly valuable for free all the time. Now, obviously, like, I get goodwill, and you would get goodwill for, like, telling the truth when somebody asks a question. But, like, I'm trying to think of a like an actual example I can give where there isn't a consequence or something like that. And I'm completely drawing a blank right now. But, I don't know. I don't know, it just seems like I can't think of like an inherent reason why you should always just like automatically tell the truth. Like, there are situations where you wouldn't buy water, and it's because you're, you know, not thirsty. Kind of situations. Like, there's definitely situations where like you wouldn't. I don't know. I'm just. I had this all like articulated. Hey, it's going out by my door again. I had this all like articulated in my mind a little bit better than it currently is. And now that I'm like trying to play and speak at the same time, I'm seeming, I think, a little bit more like an idiot than I would prefer to be. I hate sabangs. Come on, there we go. Let's go. Oh, I didn't realize there was a tree up there. But yeah, I remember, it was actually, this is kind of funny. Somebody like posted this article, and it was from a Playboy magazine. Apparently people do in fact get that to read the articles. I don't know what to tell you. But it was this article, I wonder if I still have it on my computer, actually. I'm actually going to check. But it was this article about like quitting. Now see, now I gotta go see if I can find it. Let's see if, once I kill these guys, I'm going to go find myself a safe spot and pause the video recording real quick so I can try to find this Playboy article. Oh, man. The places that my Tibia videos take me. The places that they take. That's a American. And I just walked through fire. That's cool. And now I'm poisoned also. Just for good measure. It's a good thing he didn't electrocute me. Whoop. Must throw the banana on the floor. Okay. There's got to be a building that I can get on the roof of somewhere. Although I don't think it's that building. Okay. Let me go straight south, I think. This building's probably good. Yeah, we just got 2 sabangs. We can handle those 2. They probably won't respawn on me. Alright, once this other dude dies, I'm going to pause this video recording real quick and see if I can't find this, this article. I like saved it as a screenshot. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna pause the video real quick. Broadcast pause. It pains me greatly, but I cannot find it. I just can't do it. Pains me greatly, but I just could not find that. I know I saved it on my computer somewhere. I just could not find it, and I'm like searching through all of the spots that I in the past saved like things on my computer, and I just could not find it. I'm like almost positive I didn't like delete it, and it's on this computer, but I just could not find it. It's killing me a little bit inside. I couldn't even. I was like, I got to the point where I was like, maybe I can just like Google the article. You know, it's like the most annoying thing in the world, actually. Just throwing this out there. When when Google isn't working the way you want it to. I'm like, I mean, I guess, you know, there's like, I know there's ways that you're supposed to like utilize a search engine, and it's possible like I'm not utilizing it correctly, but I'm like, it was like a Playboy article, so I'm like, Playboy article about quitting, or quitters. And all I could get was just a bajillion news articles, because apparently Playboy is only about articles now, because there's actually no nudity in Playboy any longer, apparently. So all I could find was just a bajillion news articles like rehashing that topic, and I'm like, dude, it doesn't even contain the words I want. So yeah, I gave up. It was however, it was this like article. It was like this dude was like, he's writing this article. I guess it was, you would call it like an opinion piece, basically. And I think it was like Donald Rumsfeld had this book, and he told this like story in the book where he was in like Little League or something, and he wasn't having fun, and he wanted to quit. So he like wrote a letter to his dad, who was like in World War II at the time, and his dad like wrote back and was like, "Yeah, you can quit, but if you quit, you'll be like a quitter, and then like when you're doing something else in the future, you'll be like, oh well, you know, it's so easy to quit. I'll just like stop doing this." So basically, the idea was that like you'd become a quitter and you'd never be able to accomplish anything. So you have to like muscle through this task that you don't enjoy. So the dude who was like writing the article was like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of true, but like, think about all the other people who were doing something that sucked and then quit and are now doing something like way more successful. He was like, you know, like Bill Gates was like, you know, quit going to college so that he could found Microsoft. You know, and he was like, well, you know, he's like, you know who else isn't like a quitter? That guy who's like miserable at his job but comes in every day for the like on time every day for the past like 40 years waiting to get his retirement party, but like miserable the whole time. That guy's not a quitter. He's a stayer. That's what he called him. He's like, that guy's a stayer. He'll stay at his job until like the ends of time, being unhappy the entire time. So it's kind of like goes into my point, is that like, you know, who benefits from a person being like, I shouldn't quit. Like, I have to stay here and muscle through it. Like, I mean, I guess your coworkers probably benefit by you not quitting, but like, generally speaking, you know who like benefits the most from that? Like your boss, your company. Your company benefits by a whole bunch of employees being unhappy, but being like, ugh, I can't quit. I have to stay. Because then the place can offer you like compensation that isn't sufficient for your work. They can offer you a crappy work environment with like crappy rules and crappy policies and crappy people, and like, you know, just generally treat you like crap, and you won't quit. You'll stay because you think quitting is bad. So they're like, you know, I mean, to be sure, like, you know, you probably shouldn't just quit high school and things like that. And there are consequences to not doing things. But I mean, like, you know, if you're like, this job isn't enjoyable, quit it. Whatever. You know, when I quit my my gas station job, I felt great. Like, absolutely wonderful. I went to that job like every day, and it was just like, ugh, I hate this job. Like, I'd have like a couple of days off in a row, and I'd be like happy, but I'd kind of spend those couple of days off in a row. Kind of like for anybody who's actually probably soon going back to school, possibly this week or the next week. You'll know that feeling, like, as summer vacation is on your, like, last 2 weeks or something like that. you're still having fun because it's still summer vacation and like school's not quite yet, but you know, like at the bottom of your heart that like soon it's going to be over. You're still enjoying yourself. You're still having a great time. It's still summer vacation, but you know it's getting close. And then like every day gets a little bit closer and you're like, "Oh man, soon. Soon it's going to be school time." I don't want it to be school time. You know, like that's how I felt when I'd have like 3 days off in a row. I'd be like, "Oh man, 3 days," but 3 days is so little. Soon, soon I'll have to go back, and then it would be like 2 days, and I'd be like, "Oh man, yesterday was great," but I'm, and then it would be like the last day, and I'd be like, "Oh man, it's tomorrow." I'd go in there and I'd be like miserable, and like now we had different managers, and the one manager who was there for a while, like I like that guy. And while he may not have been like the greatest manager, and while the job still like inherently sucked, he at least kind of had the employees back. So like we knew he, you know, he wasn't like throwing us under the bus or anything. And he knew like the stupid policies and stuff like that were stupid, and you know he tried. But like after he was gone and we got these new ones, they were just like every day they were like, well, blind adherence to company policy. Don't think, just obey. Which I mean, you know, like there is a time and a place for that. Don't get me wrong. But like, yeah, just every day I was like, oh man, I just don't want to be here anymore. But like, quitting is stressful, and like, you know, it left me in a situation where I'm not sure like how I'm going to like pay for my bills and stuff like that because you people aren't donating to my Patreon account. Yeah, it's all your guys' fault. Throwing that out there. Nah, it's all cool. It would be awesome if I could. It would be awesome if this could ever just pay me enough to make it my career, but I'm pretty positive that's never going to happen. But yeah, like it was like stressful, and like you know there would be consequences to me quitting. But like when I finally did it, and it was like I no longer need to try for starters because like you know I knew I was not going to be working there any longer, so no reason to like go all out and make sure I was doing a good job. Which I mean like makes me sound like a bad person, but I mean like you know I have this like policy with respect and like respecting other people where like I'll give everybody like a basic level of respect for like you know being a human and like being able to at a glance function normally. You know, like you've successfully put on clothes, you've successfully learned to like speak, you're out in public and like aren't getting arrested. You've garnered a like basic level of respect that I will give you. But anything beyond that like basic level of respect, I kind of need to like know things about you. You know, like for sure, somebody that has like an important career is going to get more respect for me than a person that doesn't. I don't mean to say that like I'm disrespectful to people like working in fast food because I'm not. I mean, I've worked in fast food. I'm also kind of a like bum in that sense. But like, you know, I will give you additional respect if you're like, yes, I'm a brain surgeon. Yes, I'm a police officer. Yes, I'm a like teacher. Yes, I've like, you know, I'm either doing something that's important and that benefits the world or I'm like at least at the very least like I'm doing something that required a like hefty degree. Whereas if you're like, yes, I'm coasting off of my parents' wealth while doing nothing, I'm like, yeah, okay, well that's not really respectful. But other than that, I have like a policy of I respect I give people the same amount of respect that they give me. In other words, where was I going with this? I'm actually completely drawing a blank right now. Crazy. Yeah, where am I going with this? Do. Oh man, what was I talking about? I'm losing my mind, I think. This is not good. I need my mind. My mind is like the only thing I have going for me. I can't be losing this. I'm actually gonna actually have to stop my recording here and then listen to what I just said so that I can remember what I'm talking about. How sad is this? All right. Let me hop up in here real quick. Yeah, how sad. Okay. Ugh, just the two Merlikins. That's kind of annoying. Do do do. All right, let me actually end the recording real quick and then start another one. How sad. Okay, I remember what I was talking about. So anyway, as I was saying, so like I treat everybody with this like basic level of respect, but if you don't treat me with respect, like I'm not going to treat you with any kind of respect. And my job definitely did not treat me with any level of respect, which is why I was like okay with just not doing any of my work once I knew I was quitting. Uh, that's what I was getting at. My point though with this whole like topic of my work is, like telling them I wasn't going to work there anymore and not needing to like stress out about like doing my job, my like miserable job correctly. This again like sounds kind of lame, but like I think I've mentioned this in one of my videos before, but like I work third shift, and third shift in almost any other place of employment comes with what's called like a night differential, which is they pay you extra money because you're working third shift and it like ruins your life and it's bad on your health and things like that. Like for sure, sleeping during the daytime is like bad for your health. Don't get me wrong. That's why like most places will pay you extra money to like compensate for the fact that the work sucks. And my place did not pay me extra money. So like if they're not going to pay me extra money to work third, then I'm going to like when you're being paid to do a job, like you're like, all right, I'm going to do like X work units and I'm going to receive Y income. That's the like trade that you're doing. Um, but if you also throw in like a hostile environment or something like that, like if you just need to like bag groceries, for instance, like minimum wage is probably sufficient for that. But if you need to like bag groceries in a war zone, you should be paid more. Because like there's additional things there. Like if you need to bag groceries in a like unair conditioned room that's like 150 degrees or something like that, well, I mean that's I guess a lot. Let's just go with like 40 degrees Celsius. Like yeah, if you need to bag groceries in that, like you need additional money to make that job worth it. So like they wanted me to do like the same amount of work, but not pay me extra while adding in the modifier of working third shift. And like that's just not acceptable. So I mean, if they wanted me to work third shift and pay me the same amount of money as everybody else, then the trade-off I made was that I was going to just do less work. But like yeah, that was also like stressful because occasionally they like realized what I was doing and like they called me out on it, and then I had to like do a little bit more work for a while, and by a little bit more work I mean like do the work that I was technically supposed to be doing. Before going on and like eventually slowly doing less and less work again, and then trying to like hide that fact. But like once I was like, yeah, I'm just not working here anymore, I was like, wow, I feel like it's like just a load off my shoulders. Like I'm so happy that I'm not working here anymore. And for that like week and a half to 3 weeks or so, I'm sorry, 2.5 to 3 weeks that I continued working after I told him I was done, like working there was not nearly as bad as it had been any other day. Like the idea of working 12 days straight at that place before would have made me want to cry, but on that last like 12 days of working there, like I didn't even mind. I was just like, yeah, whatever. They were like, hey Silvius, like Joe called out, could you stay an extra hour today? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine, don't mind. I mean, part of that was for sure the fact that like I knew I was going to be losing all of my income and wanted the additional chance for money, but like even like under normal circumstances I would have been like, ugh. But I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm like, I don't mind. Like I'm actually okay with working right now because I know soon it's going to be over, and also like whatever, the actual job has become a lot less crappy because I'm doing so little of what I'm supposed to actually be doing right now. But yeah, so like back to that whole like quitting thing, like the people that would benefit by me having this idea that I should never ever quit was the place of employment that treated me like crap, and not myself. Quitting was definitely in my best interest, and I'm glad I quit. So like along with that like no lying thing, we have that like you should always like persevere. The like money doesn't buy happiness thing. Yeah, money totally buys happiness, people. I don't know what to tell you. Like being an idiot with your money won't buy happiness, that's for sure. But I mean like being an idiot with your family also won't buy happiness. Having a whole bunch of money so that you can do the things that you enjoy and not have to worry about all the incredibly stressful things that happen. Like, I'm not talking about like spending all of your money on like, going to the like wild parties every night, but like just being able to buy a new video game that comes out whenever you want it without being like, can I afford this? If I buy the video game, that means I'm going to have to eat like nothing but ramen noodles for like the rest of the week. I might have to pick up like a couple of extra hours at work to buy this video game. Like, not having to worry about that is definitely something that will make you happy. And then not like looking at your like bills at the end of the month and being like, oh man, I can like paying all these bills is like destroying an entire week and a half worth of my paycheck. Like, not being stressed out about those things definitely makes you happy. And even the things that like, people say like are actually important, like, friends and family and all that stuff, like, this is a little risky here, can be made even more enjoyable by having additional money. Like, yeah, you can raise like a family and have kids and get married while being poor. I mean, like, an enormous amount of people do that, but actually being able to like provide for your family and like go on vacations with your family and your kids is definitely going to make that whole process more enjoyable for you. For sure. So yeah, like, again, though, that whole like money isn't won't make you happy kind of thing is told to you by people who already have like a whole boatload of money and who are like manipulating the system so they can keep gaining a boatload of money at like your expense. I don't mean to sound like a like Bernie Sanders supporter right now or something like that, but like, there's definitely people that have like all of the political money and like the power and stuff like that that exists in the world, and they definitely operate a system that keeps them in power. Like, they're definitely not like, oh man, yeah, it's fine if like anybody can take all the money away from me. I mean, and I don't mean, oh wow, that's literally the first time I've ever looted a banana staff. Look at that. I've never looted one of these before. That's kind of cool. I mean, I know that's not like worth anything, but that's kind of cool. Yeah, like, I mean, like I said, I don't mean to sound like a Bernie Sanders supporter or something like that, but like, and I don't fault those people because that's also what I would 100% do if it was me that was in power. Like, I would not want other people to take, because like there's a limited amount of wealth that can exist. Not everybody can be living like the super rich life. Wow, did I just break like 5 spears that fast? That's crazy. Well, hey, this hunt's over now. Now that I'm down to 1 enchanted spear. Having the enhanced range of the enchanted spears is kind of awesome. Although that just broke. Okay. Well then. Time for this hunt to end, I suppose. I'm actually going to kill this one with strikes, though. Because I already injured it. I needed to finish it off. Alright, we are going to run back in full defense, I guess. I swear, I had like, when I restarted this video recording, I had like 6 spears, and a little while back I checked and I was down to 5, and then just all of a sudden I'm down to 0. Yeah, we're just gonna run back. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, you shouldn't lie being told to you by people that are lying to you all the time. The, like, money won't make you happy told to you by the people that have a whole bunch of money. The, like, you should respect your, and, like, listen to your elders told to you by your elders. That's all, like, told to you by people that have, like, an incentive to keep you those things. So basically, I don't know where I was actually going with this. I was just kind of, like, my musings for today. But yeah, I don't know. It's just where I was at. But yeah, going back to that whole lying thing when I was, like, trying to say that it has, like, value. I don't mean to just, like, lie for no reason. Like, that would make you into, like, a psychopath of sorts. Compulsive liar, I think the term is. But, like, yeah, if there's ever, like, if you can, I believe this to just be true of anything. Like, when you look at any kind of situation, like, you do a cost-benefit analysis, right? So you're like, here's the consequences of if I do this. And here's the benefits of if I do this. And some of them are obviously, like, variables, so there's, like, a certain amount of, like, gambling in there. if you ever determine that it's in your like best interest to do something, do it. I mean, like, because that's what people like do when they commit crimes. Like, somebody's like, I don't have money. If I don't get money, this is what's going to happen to me. I need to do something to get money. So, like, I could rob this gas station, for instance. And then the risks of robbing this gas station are, like, I could potentially get shot and killed. I could end up in jail. Like, I will have a guilty conscience, yeah, and so on. But the gains of this are being able to get the money for the things that I need. And then, like, they go rob a bank or go rob a gas station. Like, I don't think I'm not gonna advise anybody to go commit armed robbery, but like, if you're looking at a situation and somebody's like, asking you a question, you're like, yeah, I think it would probably be in my best interest to lie to this person. Lie to that person. There is no like virtue in just blindly like inflicting harm upon yourself. I mean, that's, yeah, whatever. I'm giving people terrible advice right now, I think. Anyway, I'm actually going to, because I think this video has been kind of going on long, I will dump my stuff off at the beginning of next video. But while we're walking back there, killing in the name of apes, 69 plus 22, that's 71, 91 plus 94. Wow, I did a lot better than I thought I did. Really? 91, 95, 185. Yeah, I did a lot better. Killed a lot more of them than I thought I was going to. Alright, folks. Well, yeah, that's it for me here. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Patreon, Twitter, Facebook. I will see you folks later.